Hello and welcome. This is Mwanga Radio, and this show is TruthRewind, where we point you back to the truth according to the Bible. So in our last episode, we saw that God is actually interested in every aspect of our lives, and we realized that God is very much interested in our social lives. And of course, we also highlighted that God wants us to choose our friends wisely and carefully, and we also saw the reasons for that. So in today's episode, like I had promised, we're going to be looking at some of the advantages or the benefits of surrounding yourself with the right kind of friends, or walking with the right company. So welcome back. So going back to a very famous saying or quote that says that show me a man's friends and I will show you, rather I will tell you the kind of a person they are, is actually true. And what makes this statement or this quote true is that it is almost impossible to have friends who have nothing in common. It is impossible to be friends with someone who you do not share anything in common. And this includes guys who are older and guys who are younger. You realize that friends are usually brought together by some commonality. There has to be something they share in common, and this has to do with habits, hobbies, interests, gifts, and much more. Those are some of the things that bring friends together. These are some of the things that bring people together. Yes, and I will give you an example. In 2012, I met myself a friend, out of a total stranger. And what happened is that we just realized that we both loved reading, and what we loved reading was fiction. We loved reading fiction novels, and so just like that, we would even save monies to buy books, and every time we just buy a different book, he would buy a different book, so that once I have read, we would exchange. Once he's read his, I've read mine, would exchange. And so you see, out of that love for reading fiction, we were able to connect and become very good friends. So that was our habit. That is what we shared in common. As you see, it is actually it's almost impossible for you to be friends with someone who you have nothing are in common. What happens is that sometimes friends will just meet and talk about things, and therefore if there is nothing you guys can talk in common, then that means you're not friends. The thing is, that people will talk about sports, the others will talk about cars, the others will talk about books, talk about movies, music, or even girls. For those, of course, who keep bad company, you realize that you talk about girls so many times. And in today's episode, like I said, we're going to be seeing, or rather looking at the benefits of a good company. And so the very number one thing that I would say is that a good company will build your character. And just like we had seen in our previous episode, that a bad company will ruin your good character. The same applies in keeping a good company. Good company will affect your character, and the way bad or rather good company affects your character is that it builds up your character. I have seen people, change their bad habits simply by choosing to hang out or hang around with the right people. And what we're saying is that friends are very influential, and sometimes you just influence even without you realizing it. So that is one characteristic of friendships. That friendships are influential. They influence you. People influence you to becoming like them when you spend time with them. So good character, rather good company, will build your character. And of course, I know you've heard of this saying that says that birds of the same feather flock together. You realize that when you join rather when you become friends with someone and there's nothing you have in common, somehow either your friend or yourself will influence each other, like to just start becoming alike, sharing the same habits and interests, so somehow, so that you have something that you share in common. There's a proverb that says that as iron sharpens iron, so will a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. As iron sharpens iron. You see the way people use knives to sharpen, knives, like you rub two knives together to just make them sharp. And what happens is that when you rub both knives together, both of them will become sharp. So you, when you hang out with the right person, you influence one another, and then you end up becoming like them. You make them better, they make you better in return. So that is one advantage of keeping the good company. Friends, good friends, let me just stick to that. Good friends will build each other up. They will keep each other, accountable, and ensure that your character, your qualities are good. A good friend is someone who's honest with you. When you're doing the wrong thing, they're gonna be honest with you, and they will tell you, hey, whatever you're doing is not the right thing. That is what we're talking about. Having a good friend, someone who will not just watch you go down, into a ditch and then they celebrate. This is someone who's gonna be open with you, very honest with you, and they tell you whatever you're doing is not the right thing, because they care that you stand. They care that you will have a good character. So a good company builds your character. Advantage or benefit number 2 of keeping the right company is a good company will keep you from pain or danger. How about having friends or a friend who will stir you up into doing the right thing? A friend that will ensure that you become obedient, a friend that will make sure that you become, more righteous or a good person than you are. That is a kind of a person you're talking about. That's a kind of a friend you're talking about. And Proverbs 14:12 says that there is a way that seems right in the eyes of a man, but in the end it leads to death. Let me just explain something here. There's something we call deception. And deception, how deception works is that when one is deceived, when someone is deceived, they think that they're right. Well, in reality, they're very wrong. And what happens is that deception blinds someone that you don't even realize, you don't even see. Yes, your people around you, they can see that whatever you're doing is not the right thing, but even if they talk to you, you're actually confused and wondering what is not happening, because you think you're the one doing the right thing. So what happens is that when you have a good friend, they can easily see. If you keep the right company, your friends can easily see that what you're doing is not the right thing, that you're being deceived, that you're just like going out of your mind, and they will just bring you back to track. You're going out of the way, they will pull you back to the track. That is also an advantage of having the right kind of friends. Let me be practical here, and give you an example. Assuming you're a student. I'm just assuming you're a student either in a high school or college, and you're a Christian. So you hook up a girl who is not necessarily born again, and they introduce you to some bad life, and in your mind you're like, I'm hooking up this girl so that I can help change her. Your friends realize that the way that you've taken is going to lead you to danger. It's going to lead you to something that you're going to regret, and they talk to you, and somehow you're also resistant because you're like, I know what I'm doing. But before you realize it, you start drinking, you start sleeping around, and your friends come to you again and they tell you, you know what, I think the way that you're taking is going to be bad. and thank God that this second time at least you're able to listen to them and take their advice, and then you leave the girl. A few months later, you realize the girl is pregnant, and of course you freak out, you're confused, only for you to realize that it is not yours, like it is by another man. So did your friends save you some pain? Of course they did. Had this happened while you were together with that girl, then it would have been more painful. It would have destroyed your reputation. It would have really, really messed you. And so that brings us to our point number 3, or our advantage number 3 of keeping good company. And we're saying that good company saves your reputation. It is somewhat a continuation of point number 2, about good friends saving you from danger and all that kind of pain. So good company will also save you, or rather save your reputation. What a good friend would do is that they would be truthful with you. And I'll repeat this again, they'll be honest with you. They will not, just sit and watch as you destroy your life. A good friend, when you keep the right company, he will advise you, or she will advise you, she will talk to you, because they care about your name, they care about your image, they care about your reputation. So what will happen is that a good friend will just approach you and they will tell you the truth, much rather painful as it will be, or it can be. They will tell you the truth, because this is one quality or one characteristic of good friendship. I mean, good friendships are made of people who are open and genuine, people who are honest with each other. And I will give you an example, a practical one. Like if you say, for example, that there's a false information that is spreading about you, and of course your friends get to hear about it. Will your friend or your friends, come to your defense? They stand and defend you, or are they going to be, like wood to the fire? Are they going to spread it even further? I think that's a question you should ask yourself. If you have the good company, the right company, who care about your reputation, they will protect your name. And let me just say this, that there are those people whose friends are of course the ones we call in bad company. Those people who cannot be, they're not believable. Like they don't sound truthful. And even if they were to stand and defend you, would they be listened to? Would they be people who can really defend you? Because the truth is, if you're in a bad company, like for those who are in high school, a good example would be, in case you are accused of doing the wrong thing, and your teacher or your teachers call for your friend. If they came, are they going to make things worse for you, or are they going to save you from danger? Because that is the truth. I remember while you were in high school, you do something wrong, and then you're told to call your friends, and your friends are supposed to come and testify about you. So sometimes there are people who just be called, and when they enter into that door, what would happen is that the teacher would just say that the case is done. There's no more investigations. If these are your friends, because these are people with, of course, a bad record. They are troublesome. They keep, making the teachers complain and all that kind of stuff. Yes. So I believe now you understand why you need to secure yourself a good company. And so is it really necessary to keep the right company? And I'll repeat, good company will help you, or rather will make your character better. And number 2, good company will keep you from danger and spare you pain. And finally, good company will spare, or rather save your reputation. So now that you know these things, will you choose your friends carefully? I hope you do so. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in our next episode. And remember to share this with a friend, and ask them also to share with their friends. So bye until next time. God bless.